Hello, good evening. Happy Friday / Saturday morning, possibly in the Antipodes. I'm not sure. Kira will tell me. Hello, though. Welcome. Oh my goodness, it's Friday here, and I'm so glad. Although I'm really annoyed with myself because some of you have been amazingly lovely on coffee this week, and several of them very much specified in caps lock often that I absolutely had to buy some bubble bath. And I went to the shop earlier and was like, I'm going to buy some bubble bath. I'll have a bath before this evening, and then I'll show you the bottle that I bought with the bubble bath. But then obviously, like a bloody idiot, I forgot because weirdly, and you're all talking about whether or not I'm drunk, I was looking at the wine and thinking, oh, maybe I'll get a bottle of wine. It's Friday night. And then I thought, I don't actually fancy it. Wine, so I won't bother. And then the thought of treats just completely went out my head and I totally forgot. But I am going to buy some bubble bath the next time I'm in there, and thank you very much. As it's Friday, I'll be sticking the coffee link in the comments. So if you haven't donated this week and you feel like you can, please don't do it if money's at all tight or an issue. Do not worry about it. But if you can, it's lovely and gratefully received. Anywho, over to not drunk, just a bit hammered. Who's hammered? Not me. Just a bit hammered in a sexy way? Sadly, not that either. The Noise Next Door's live stream meant no. But you didn't need to know that. If you could please like the video and subscribe to it. Oh no, I've heard FIFA going on downstairs, but then I've also just heard Mackie's bell, and I'm wondering if that means... Oh no, he's up. That's good. All right, okay, listening out of Tom downstairs, letting Mackie out. Thanks to everybody that was watching on Twitch, the Mark What's On upon and the Klopp is hammered sexy. Getting hammered? Come on. We don't even need Mystic to explain that one to us. We get that one, don't we? Mackie was a big hit on Twitch. That's good. I'm glad they used the chapter. I wrote it for them when they did it, but like the time on that, it always runs over massively, so they can't use it. But I'm actually currently in the middle of writing the 12 Days of Kloppmas. So we will be releasing a little promo video every day for 12 days to promote the book for oh god, what's the word? My words have completely gone out my head today. People kept calling her Maggie, though. That's all right. If I'd ever had a daughter, I wanted her to be called Maggie, so I don't really mind. I was going to have Ruby and Maggie. Those were going to be my two girls. I was definitely having girls, you see, I'd decided. Turns out, not having any. Jenny's had wines. Good, have wines. Oh, it's your middle name, is it Art World? Art Maggie World. I love it. Yes, she's a funny little dog. People always think she's a boy, too. And you think, like, God, how are you? I think it's because we got her a black collar because we didn't put her in anything Diamante pink. But hey ho, you were going to have granny names. Yeah, I really like Maggie. I think Maggie's lovely. Ruby's not a granny name, is it? Is Ruby a granny name? I don't know. Ever since I was a little girl, I've wanted a kid called Ruby. Apparently, I wanted to marry Paul Ince, the footballer. I haven't changed, and have a little girl called Ruby, and I wanted red hair, and at least one of those I managed, although, God in heaven, it needs dyeing again, doesn't it? But what's the point? The world's on lockdown. I'll do it before Mock the Week. Oh, blimey, that's coming up, isn't it? A couple of weeks. Anyway, oh, John's running late. Bloody hell, John. Just made it, was playing board games on Board Game Arena. Ooh, Catherine, I'm bloody... What were you playing? I love board games. I'm just printing out the last of the cards, ready to try out our prototype tomorrow, which is exciting. Paul Ince to Jurgen Klopp is quite a culture shift. Oh, yeah. I just clearly have always been into footballers, but not football. Right, it's all right, John. I forgive you for being late. So hello, everybody. Hello, people watching on Catch Up over the weekend. You've got a nice long time to vote this weekend. We'll be back Monday with the next video. But so your vote was for what book? And it was incredibly tight. It was really, really tight. Oh, Mystic, I'm throwing them in for you. Oh, Six Nymphed. I got Six Nymphed for my birthday. It's really fun, isn't it? I really like that. I haven't played Alhambra. Oh, stop doing that. There we go. I didn't think Paul Ince is thoughtful enough. No, but I was about 8 at the time. So it's fine. I don't think I was that into sensible domesticity at 8. I think I just thought he was handsome, and he was. Right, so you got to decide what book was happening in the book club. So here you go. Let's find out what happens and what ramifications that meant. Did you miss out on anything? You saved one of Polly's saucepans from burning. You stopped Kate writing her own novel. What else didn't happen? You stopped her meeting a handsome librarian. Things have happened. So let's find out what happened, shall we? Hi, Carrie Ann. Catherine, don't worry about missing the vote. That's quite all right, but don't bloody do it again. Nothing will happen. Okay, chapter 6. Here we go. Kate strolled around Waterstones with its papery new book scent and quiet, serious people looking for worlds to escape into. It smelt like holidays to Kate. Mum had always brought her and Polly here before a holiday to choose a book to read beside a pool. What programme are you talking about? I want to know. I loved that programme. Kath and Veronica. Oh, I haven't seen it. Okay, sorry. I feel left out when I've got to read and you guys are all chatting. But then I don't like it when you don't chat because I think you've got bored and wandered off. And then I remember you just listening, which is why we're here. Ugh, anxiety, eh? It was a happy place, made all the more exciting for the quiet. People were quiet around books, perhaps because the books themselves had so much to say. She ran a finger along the shelves, moving alphabetically with the authors until she came to R. Anne Rice. There it was. Interview with the Vampire. She pulled it out from the shelf and looked at the cover, trying not to judge it, but realizing what a stupid phrase that was. What else were you supposed to judge a book on when choosing? The length, the weight, the fact that it had a little 3 for 2 sticker up there in the corner. Yes, that always helped. Kate held the book in her right hand and then strolled around the tables looking for other covers that caught her eye. Well, in for a penny, in for a pound, right? She was going to poke that phrase right in the eye with a sharp stick and choose 2 other books with great covers. A beautiful book lay on the table with a blue floral colour, and the publishers had gone to the effort of making the ends of the pages blue too. Brilliant. Kate didn't even read the back of the book. It went into her hand. One more. What to get? Nothing with a white cover. That ruled out a lot. Nothing with an illustrated, whimsical-looking woman who would meet the man of her dreams in a bakery. That ruled out everything on the table nearest the door. A book with a black and gold cover caught her eye, and she decided that the spine of that would look excellent on her shelf. Now, you couldn't read 3 books as pretty as these ones without having nice bookmarks to mark your place, could you? It would be a shame to tuck a tatty little receipt in the top and ruin all her careful choosing. Kate wandered over to the spinning carousel of bookmarks and began to match bookmarks to books. It took a surprisingly long time, and Kate was pleased to look at her watch and see that 20 calm, blissful minutes had passed with no more serious thoughts than what bookmarks she would spend her money on. That was good. She headed over to the till. The wonderful thing about slipping off campus to shop during the day was that there were very few queues at the tills. Oh, hang on. We need a name. I used to collect bookmarks, Jenny, when I was little. When I left Pauline's. You're getting a lot about my childhood today. What accent should the shop assistant have? It's a fleeting one. I did say I'd do a Canadian, but are we going to use that up on a 2 for Romanian? Good Lord. How does a Romanian speak? I think it's going to sound remarkably like my Russian. Okay, let's go. I don't know how to do Romanian at all. Let's go Spanish. We'll go Spanish. Okay. Would you like? No, that's immediately. That's not happened. From a spine. Okay. Would you like them gift wrapped? The person at the till asked. Kate looked at her, and her face must have been a question because the person smiled apologetically and backtracked. Oh, sorry. This is more Italian, isn't it? This is Rebecca all over again. Oh, sorry. Are they not gifts? They just look like presents. Kate looked down at her carefully planned markers and books. They did look nice. Yes, they are gifts. Gift wrapping would be lovely. The assistant smiled with relief. Oh, lovely. Is £2.50 per gift. Is that okay? She was already removing price labels from the bookmarks. Kate swallowed. £7.50 was a lot, but on the other hand, the wrapping paper was very pretty, and why not buy little gifts for herself? Yes, that's lovely, she decided on a whim, but they're actually all one gift, so if you could wrap them all together, that would be great. Yeah, it is quite close to Romanian, actually, that accent. But see, I'm just pleasing everybody all in one, with one accent that encompasses most of the planet. Well done, me. If you could wrap them all together, that would be great. There, that seemed like a satisfactory compromise. A lovely gift to unwrap later on tonight, but she hadn't gone crazy. Perfect. Later that evening, after an insanely boring afternoon at the university untangling wires and labelling them, she sat in her living room with a glass of wine poured and the interview with the vampire sitting beside her on the sofa waiting to be read. She had read every review she could find, read the entire Wikipedia page for both the book and the film, checked she could find the film online just in case, and then run out of things to do. The thing was, she was quite keen to read it. It sounded really good and interesting. She just couldn't seem to make herself pick up the book and get on with it. Every time she thought about opening it, she thought about the spine of the book creasing and not looking so shiny and perfect anymore. Maybe she should write that thought down to bring up at book club and see if anyone else felt the same way. She looked over at her notepad. No, she didn't want that to be the first very clever thought, trademark, that she wrote down, or she'd have to look at it every time she wrote anything else. God, starting things was hard. Her mobile buzzed on the coffee table. How are you getting on with IWTV? Can you be here for 6:30 tomorrow? XOXO. Kate sighed and decided she'd not to reply. She'd already cancelled her plans with Graham so that she could babysit for Polly and Ryan's date. Truth be told, she actually wasn't that disappointed to have to postpone seeing him, but also she didn't want Polly to know that. She decided to text Graham instead. Sorry again about tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing you Tuesday. I'm just starting to read my book for my new book club. What are you up to? X. She lingered over whether or not to add the X and then went for it. Oh, why not? Wasn't the point of dating apps to take away all the angst over whether or not the person knew you were interested? She settled her phone back on the sofa and picked up the book again, reading the back cover for the third time. Why was starting to read this so hard? She glanced over at the shelves in the corner. She probably hadn't read half the books on that shelf. That would be quite interesting to find out, actually. Kate settled herself on the floor by the bookshelf and started pulling books off and placing them in two piles, read and not read. Once that was done, she split the not read books into two more piles, started and not started. Then she replaced them all back on the shelf, admiring how much better that was now that it was organised. Yawning, she realised it was past midnight and probably too late to start reading now anyway. As she climbed the stairs, still optimistically clutching the book, she realised she was afraid of starting the book. The trouble with reading was, if she let it, it would absorb her, and then she would start to like the characters. No matter what happened to them, whether they had a good life or a bad one within those pages, eventually the book would end and she would lose them. Oh, grow up, she said out loud to herself, imagining her thoughts with tragic music over them and a nodding therapist in dim lighting saying, "And do you think this is related to losing your parents at such a tumultuous age?" Well, of course it was. How could you not lose both your parents suddenly at 18 and not be a little screwy over it? But she had a job and a house, okay, rented, but still, she wasn't homeless, and her credit card debt was not so unmanageable that a few years of reining in the spending wouldn't sort it, and hadn't she done well on only getting one wrapping paper today? She was practically in the black again. She brushed her teeth, wiped a flannel and several expensive creams across her face, that's a new word, across her face, and then flopped into bed with Interview with the Vampire lying attractively on the bedside table beneath her Tiffany lamp. It looked good there, with its perfect spine and retro cover. The colourful glass in the lamp made it look stylish. Really no need to read it at all. I know, Kira, just writing a character that's in debt makes me feel queasy. I'm so I'm finicky about money. I'm never in debt. I can't bear it, and I'm such a saver just to make sure. I'm like, "Whoa!" So just writing her recklessly spending, even though she's in debt, makes me feel a bit sick. But you've got to try not to write to yourself every time you write a character, Laura. So there. So you're having a few theories about what's happening with Kate. She's a bit of a mess, isn't she? But I'm quite enjoying her. Okay, so your question, which obviously will have some hidden ramifications, but it's pretty straight up, I think, not too secretive. Up to you whether or not Kate has housemates / roommates. Does she live alone or does she live with people? Up to you. You can choose with yes, 1, yes, 2, yes, 3, or no. How many people does she live with? 1, 2, 3, or none? And then that'll tell us something else about the story of Kate and what's going to happen in the next chapter. Laura, you need to go out and research unnecessary spending firsthand. Oh, I'd love to, Kim, but 1, I can't go out. 2, I haven't got any money. Did you not hear how excited I am to go and buy bubble baths? I'd love to. Yes, as soon as the world is open again, I'll be on it. I'll be all over everything. And my husband's a bit of a spender. He can be. He's been very good this year, obviously, because we're broke. But he taught me to be much less frugal. I was so frugal before I met Tom. And then he taught me to relax a little bit. And now I'm better. But I'm not much of a crazy spender. So those are your choices. Does she have housemates? It will affect the story as ever. So if you could please like the story, please give us a thumbs up. Please share any of the tweets that you can. I'm putting all of these into a thread. Anybody that you think would like them, please share them about. And I will pop my coffee link in the description, and obviously you can donate if you'd like to. There's obviously a few of you that have really donated very generously, and so please don't worry about it. And I know there's a lot of you that have lost your jobs and just don't have the financial security at the moment, so please don't worry about it if that's you. Yes, there we go. I will see you on Monday for the next exciting episode in the life of Kate Wilcox. See you Monday. Bye.